Hello friends. So today let us have a more light on what is a requirement management. Okay. So we have seen all the phases of requirement engineering process in the last videos. So please go through all the videos. Already I have shared the links in the description. Please go through them. We have discussed what is feasibility study. We have discussed requirement elicitation and analysis, requirement specification, and then we have seen requirement validation. And the last part to be studied is requirements management. Okay. So why there is a need of managing the requirement, right? What do you feel? Why there's a need of a proper management of requirement? So as I have told you, requirement plays very important role, okay, during the development process. So once if you fail to provide the correct requirements, you may need to incur a lot of cost in future, okay. So requirement management is all about managing the changing requirements, okay, during the requirement engineering process and system development. All right. So it is a process of managing all the requirements that are needed during the requirement engineering process as well as during the software developments. Okay. So sometimes we cannot give assurance that requirements are complete or consistent. Sometimes there may be a need to change the requirements, okay, depending upon the changing needs of customers, or sometimes depending upon the changing needs of your system development and so many another factors, okay. So considering this, there are different viewpoints, okay, yeah, there are different viewpoints depending on which you can say that the needs may change, the requirements may also change, okay. So when do you exactly say that the requirements may change, okay. So the requirements may change, right, depending on few factors that I have highlighted here, okay. So different viewers will give you different viewpoints, isn't it? So if you want to collect the requirement from different viewers or different users of that software, they will be providing you a different requirement set, yeah. So the priority of requirements from different viewpoints change during the development process. So we have seen one example of ATM in the requirement discovery, where different types of users of that ATM will give you different kinds of views depending upon their requirement, isn't it? Okay. Then secondly, the requirements may change when the system customers may specify requirements from a business perspective that conflict with the end user requirement. So what it is telling you, system customers may provide you some specific requirements at their business point of view, okay, but sometimes they may fail to satisfy the needs of end users. It means it is very challenging, okay, to satisfy all different types of viewpoints, okay, within the given requirements. So there is a lot of variation between the information that is being collected from different kinds of users of the software during the development. So hence it depends upon the software development team to take the proper requirements and then continue to the next phase, okay. Then one more factor that can affect for requirement to change is that the business and the technical environment of the system changes during its development, of course. So the needs given, see, the business is nothing but the needs which are given by the customer. So when you take those requirements and go for the technical phase, that is during the development, you may see that the technical aspects of of these needs may sometimes vary. So their technical requirements, that is the system requirements, may vary from the user requirements. So overall guys, what I want to tell you is that it is not so easy, okay, it is not so easy to say that all requirements are clear during the first phase only. The requirements may change, and what is the reason that they keep on changing? The reason is that different users. Okay, different users will give you different viewpoints. Okay, the business needs may be different and the system development needs may be different. When the business needs are taken and the development is carried out, you may see that there is a need to change or there is a need to implement the change in the requirement. So this is a repetitive process. Requirement engineering process is also a repetitive approach. So how does it evolve? How does this system keep on changing? So it keeps on changing in this way. So that is called as requirement evolution, which is nothing but the updation or changing of requirements. So initially understanding of the problem will give you initial requirements. Okay. Change in any of the problem will give you change requirements, and this process keeps on continuation. Okay, how long it keeps on continuing? Until you can develop a final system which will satisfy the business needs, technical needs, and all the end user needs. Okay, so this is the part which you have to include in the requirement management. So sometimes a question is asked for 5 to 10 marks. Explain requirement management. Okay, and it is also asked about explain requirement management planning. Okay, so during that session, guys, you can explain what is requirement management. Okay, please go for requirement management, explain all these points. When does the requirement will change and what is the requirement evolution? So please go through that. Then enduring and volatile requirements. So why does the requirements change? Okay, see, there are basically two types of requirements here: enduring requirements and volatile requirements. Okay, so for example, let us see that a hospital will always have doctors and nurses. This is going to remain changed. Okay, so these type of requirements are stable. Okay, that is why they are called as enduring requirements. Okay, then what are volatile requirements? So hospital is same, but the patients that may come, okay, in the hospitals, their requirements may change. So that this is the another reason depending on which the requirements may change. All right. Okay, so about the requirement classification, already I have told before the requirement validation, so please go through that. So these contents must be again included in your requirement management, right? Yeah. So the next phase, okay, so the next phase I will be explaining you. Okay, in the next phase I will be explaining you about what is requirement management planning. Okay, yeah, so please go through this session. In this session you will come to know what is requirement management. Yeah, and I will try to merge the video so that it becomes, the concepts become more easy to you, right? So this is all about requirement management. Hello guys, so this is continued part of requirement management. So this also is asked in examination for so many times, that explain requirement management planning. Okay, so in requirement management planning you will get an idea about how to make a proper plan for managing these changing requirements. Okay, so you can do that. This plan can be implemented using three phases. One is identification of requirements, how to manage the changing process, how to manage or cope up with the changing requirements, and traceability policies. So these are the three factors depending on which you are going to make a requirement management plan. Okay, so considering the first one, that is requirement identification. Okay, so here you are going to identify each and individual requirement, right? Yeah, then in the change management process you are following one process to see why the requirements are going to change, right? Then you're going to have a traceability matrix, okay, the amount of information about requirements relationships that is maintained. So you are going to form a relationship between the requirement or set of requirements, right? Then you're also going to use a case tool. Okay, so using this tool, yeah, it will help to maintain, okay, some data which is regarding the requirement change. Okay, so these are the four things which are needed, okay, to be used when it comes to the requirement management plan. All right. So let us see what is traceability. Traceability is concerned with relationship between requirements, their resources, and the system design. So traceability means you are going to trace what is the relationship between the requirements, the designing and the code. So you are going to connect all the dots here. You are going to connect that requirement and you are going to find out where where this requirement is related with another requirement, where this requirement is used for designing, how you are going to code this requirement. Okay, so for example, let us take one requirement. So that requirement is all about healthcare. Okay, so suppose we have to take care patient information. Okay, so this is the thing which I want to develop. So considering this patient information, I have to find out what is the different information of the patient and in which modules of the software this information is going to be used. If I enter the patient information in first module, how many modules are going to refer this patient information? So in this way you are going to relate this first requirement with another requirement during the development. Okay, so that is called as traceability. Make it clear, that is called as traceability. Okay, so the second which I have, okay, it is called as a source. Okay, the second which I have, it is called as source traceability. So links from requirements to stakeholders who proposed these requirements. So source traceability is what? You are going to find out the source of the requirement. So here in source traceability, you are going to find out the source of requirements. So from where, who told me to collect this patient information, or who told me to develop the software for the patient. So that person is nothing but the stakeholder. So this person told me to develop, or this person told me to develop a software for hospital. So that's why he is the source here. Okay, so source traceability is nothing but links from requirements, okay, yeah, to the stakeholder who proposed these requirements. So the person one who told me or gave me these requirements, right? So next is requirements traceability. So requirements traceability means what? Links between dependent requirements. Suppose patient information, this is one set of information. Another set of information is I want a doctor information. Okay, yeah, I want another requirement, that is doctor information. Yeah, now I have to find out, guys, now I have to find out how this patient information, okay, how this patient information, okay, how this patient information and how this doctor information, okay, how both of these are interrelated. So that is called as what here? Requirement traceability. Yeah, so links between the dependent requirements, are you getting that? So this is one one set of information, this is another set of information. Now what is the link between these two requirements? So can you tell me what is the link between these two requirements? The patient may need the information that under which doctor he is getting the treatment. So under doctor, how many patients are treated with different diseases, isn't it? So in this way we can link these two different types of requirements. Is it clear? So first one that we saw, guys, first one that we saw is source traceability, from where you are collecting that information. Requirement traceability, connecting the requirements. Design traceability, that is the links from the requirement to the design. So suppose here what I want to do, okay, I want to make a design. I want to make a design, right? So what kind of design I want to do? Suppose I want to develop some data flow diagram for this patient. So in this patient, suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what are these? Suppose these are the numberings. Consider it as ordered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 main activities which are carried out in this patient information module. So suppose patient information is one module, and these are the main activities which are carried out in this module. Are you getting that? Okay. So design traceability is nothing but what? Finding out the relationship, okay, links between this requirement and design. So what kind of design is going to be established on this requirement set? Guys, is it clear? All right, okay. So please go through that. This is very, very important. Requirement management planning is asked so many times in the examination, okay. So that is design traceability. So let us see one traceability matrix example here. So here you can see that I have requirement IDs from 1.1 to 3, 2.1, 2, 3, 3.1 and 2. Yeah, which are arranged in the forms of rows and columns. So this matrix will show me the relationship. What kind of relationship is there between the requirements. So suppose requirement number 1.1 and requirement number 1.2 is having a design relationship. Okay, design traceability. Similarly, 1.3 and 1.1 is having a relationship of requirement link. So this requirement 1.1 is linked to requirement number 1.3. Similarly, 1.1, okay, and 1.3 requirements are linked. We getting that? 1.2, 1.3 design is linked. So in this way, this kind of matrix is developed. Okay, so this kind of matrix is developed depending upon which you will come to know how the requirements are interrelated. Okay, yeah, so because of this we will make a full A to Z study of the requirements. So hence, after making all these requirement engineering process, it becomes very easy to identify what are our requirements, then how these requirements are related, and how these requirements are going to be converted into design. Okay, yeah, so let us see about what is a case tool, right? So case tool support is nothing but what you can see here. So case tool support is requirement storage. Okay, so requirement should be managed in a secure managed data store. It will help us in the change management also. Okay, so change management is it is all about the process of, okay, the process of change management is a workflow process whose stages can be defined and information flow between these stages partially automated. Yeah, so what you are going to see, the case tool is also going to support the change management, right? Yeah, by automating some of the processes. So traceability management, as I told you, it will show the relationship between the requirements, designs, coding and everything, right? Where the requirements are used. Yeah, all these things is included here. Okay. All right, so please go through this. So requirement change management, this has also got one diagram, so which you have to also include in the uh, requirement management planning. So until here, please follow all the approach for requirement management planning and requirement management. So this question is sometime asked for 10 marks in the examination. So please do not forget to include all these points, and please